Hi, church. Thanks again for joining us for our Fight for Faith devotional series. We influence people all day long, don't we? By the things we do and the things we say, the things we read about and write about, the things we share about. We're leaving a trail, if you will, a life, a legacy that showing our goods and our bads. Have you been to a memorial service before? I'm sure most of us have. We've been to many, perhaps. And during that time, we're able to share memories of that person who passed on and reflect on their life, the people they've touched, the things that they've done. And it's often a really good time of celebration, especially at a Christian service. But have you ever been caught up just kind of thinking about yourself during those services? Well, I sure have. And I say, man, I shouldn't be thinking about myself. I should really be focused on that person who's gone. But sometimes I think about what would my life story be? What would people be saying at my service? You know, certainly as we get to glory, the one thing we love to hear from our Lord is, well done, my good and faithful servant. But what about on this side of heaven? What are the things that we'd like people to say about us? You know, as a dad, I'd love for my kids to be able to say, my dad was a faithful man. He was devoted to his God, and he took care of us. He told us about Jesus. He discipled us, and he loved us. He often was caught up in prayer and was poring over scriptures. I remember that about my dad. I loved that. I love for them to carry on that foundation. I often heard growing up my mom's legacy of faith. And when I think about Psalm 86, it reminds me of part of David's heritage. I want you to hear what David said. He said, "You, Lord, are a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness." These are the things that David learned as he was growing up. Well, who did he hear these things from? Let's read further. "Turn to me and have mercy on me. Show your strength on behalf of your servant." Why would he say that? "Because I serve you like my mom did." What a wonderful foundation his mom gave to King David. Years ago, I took a position at a Christian camp, and for years I'd been doing Christian camping and felt like it was something that I could focus on for a career. And in the midst of this, I thought I could expand on this and pass it on to somebody else as a legacy. Well, that was not meant to be. And in the midst of that, I learned something. It's not about these material things or even Christian ministries to pass on. What it's about is character and faith. Those are the things that I want to pass on to my kids and my grandkids, those attributes in their lives. These great words are found in Deuteronomy 6, and I'm going to Dave paraphrase them. He said, "Tell your kids about the Lord. Have them love me with all their heart, their minds, their soul, their strength. And, tell your kids at the dinner table. Tell them when you're walking along the road. Tell them about me before they rise in the morning and when they're getting ready for bed. Tell them about me again." Proverbs tells us that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, passing on both securities and value. I like what Billy Graham once said. Listen to this. "The greatest legacy one can pass on to one's children and grandchildren is not money, nor is it material things that you accumulated in your life, but rather a legacy of character and faith." Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for sharing your legacy with me so that I could pass it on to my kids as something that's valued, character and faith. Thanks so much for watching again, and we'll see you next time.